Hi, and welcome to this vocabulary lesson because we are going to look at synonyms, collocations in context, and words that belong in the word family. I hope you'll stick around with me every single day, learn these 3,000 words with me. Otherwise. Otherwise. I don't have a picture here because otherwise is one of those special function words. It doesn't really have a meaning except that it signals us that we're going to say differently or else. This thing here is the state, and if this thing is not what I expect it to be, it will be this thing, this other thing. So otherwise is kind of a signal word. Some synonyms for otherwise might be else, differently, other than. I like to use the word conversely, meaning it's this or it's this thing over here conversely. Although that one's not in the that's not in the thesaurus, but the thesaurus doesn't have all the words. So otherwise means it signals us to we're going to see something contrasting. If not, or else. You need to leave now, otherwise you'll miss the train. So that's saying if you don't leave now, you're going to miss the train. You need to leave now, otherwise you'll miss the train. So if you see an otherwise, you're going to see a consequence if you don't do something. Apart from that, for example, the weather was cold but otherwise pleasant. It's cold but pleasant. So we're seeing the otherwise here means except for the fact that the weather is cold, it's pleasant. So all the other parts of the weather are pleasant. Otherwise can mean in a different way. Many people believed the plan would succeed, but I thought otherwise. You can use it this way. I thought otherwise means I had a different opinion. I didn't believe it would succeed, but everybody else did. I thought otherwise. Under different circumstances. So if I use would otherwise have ... with a past participle, it means under different circumstances, this other thing would have happened. The scholarship helps students who would otherwise have been unable to attend college. So this is saying without the scholarship, they would not have attended college. Otherwise can mean without this thing. So otherwise is a really interesting. It doesn't really have a meaning on its own, but in context, it has a lot of nuances, except if stated differently. So unless otherwise stated. The assignments are due on Friday unless otherwise stated. This means that Friday is the deadline, except when a different deadline is specifically given. Assignments are always due on Friday, except when I say they're due on Wednesday. I use otherwise. All assignments are due on Friday unless otherwise stated. So you can use otherwise with these common collocations. Otherwise known as. Otherwise known as means often called. The medicine, otherwise known as acetaminophen, is Tylenol. Otherwise occupied. That means she's busy. I don't know. I was otherwise occupied. I was busy. She was otherwise occupied and couldn't attend the gala. Unless otherwise stated. Except when specified differently is what it means. Prices include tax unless otherwise stated. Prices include tax unless otherwise stated. I think otherwise. That means I think differently or I have a different opinion. Some experts think otherwise. That would come after a statement. So a lot of people believe that the world is getting worse and worse, but some experts think otherwise. It means not everybody agrees that the world is getting worse and worse. Would otherwise have. This is a collocation that is in the conditional, and it means that if this thing didn't happen, this other thing would have happened. He would otherwise have failed the course. If he didn't work with a tutor, he would have otherwise failed the course. It can mean if not. Hurry up, otherwise you'll be late. It can mean apart from that. The report was accurate when otherwise well written. So apart from the accuracy, it's also well written. I believe her. Others thought otherwise. So they had a different opinion or they believed in a different way. Under different circumstances, the aid saved people who would otherwise have suffered, except when specified. Unless otherwise stated, all sales are final. Otherwise. We have an opposite to the word otherwise because otherwise shows an opposite or apart from. We have the word likewise to mean the same or I agree. I might say the noun is other, but really with this usage, otherwise is not really a normal word. It is an adverb, but it holds a very specific, nuanced meaning. Otherwise. I really hope that you enjoyed this word. Research shows that if you know 3,000 words, then you can pretty much say anything you need to say. I hope I'll see you tomorrow, and please like and subscribe